Hare Krishna, welcome everyone to our Srimad Bhagavatam overview class. We'll begin with our prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padagamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी नितिनामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna, welcome everyone to our Srimad Bhagavatam overview class. We are discussing from the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And last time we discussed the story of the deliverance of Nriga, how Nriga, although he was such a great king, such a giver of charity, but still because he did one mistake unknowingly, he was punished and he had to become a lizard. And after he became lizard, and one day when he came, when all the Yadu boys, they were there in the forest playing, they saw this lizard in a well. They went and told Krishna. Krishna came, and he, just by the touch of Krishna, he was liberated from the curse. He got the body of a devata. He offered beautiful prayers, and then he went back. But because in his life, although he did so many of the uh, pious activities, only once he did some little service to a devotee. A devotee wanted to have a temple for his deities, and he wanted scriptures like Bhagavatam. And Riga Maharaj, he helped this devotee to arranged all these things just for a little bit of this service to a devotee. He got a chance to have darshan of the Supreme Lord. That is the glory of service of devotees. Even if a small lava matra sadhu sanga sarva siddhi hoy. So this is a very, very important benediction which Lord has given to all of us. Just by little bit of association of devotees in right consciousness, we can get delivered. So that's what we discussed in the 64th chapter. In the 65th chapter today, we'll be discussing Lord Balram's visit to Vrindavan. So as Shukdev Goswami is now describing so many pastimes, almost we have come to we have completed 2/3 of the 10th canto, and Parikshit Maharaj is so very blissful hearing all these pastimes of Krishna. But he was disturbed, he was pained, because he was remembering the situation of Brajvasis. How Brajvasis, they were in intense separation from Krishna. They were crying, lamenting, because suddenly Krishna departed from Vrindavan. And all the inhabitants of Vrindavan, they were in the pools of, pain and separation, crying tears. So to console Parikshit Maharaj, Shukdeva Goswami, he tells a story that Balram ji is visiting Vrindavan in between. You don't worry about it. So the speaker of Bhagavatam, responds according to the mood of the hearer. Whatever mood Parikshit Maharaj is in, Shukdev Goswami, it is a regular feature. We heard in the 6th, 7th chapter when Putana she came, Sakhechari ekadotpatya Putana balaghatini shishum shachara nigananti puragrama brajadishu. So Shukdev Goswami begins the story that one day Putana, she was a khechari, she entered Vrindavan. And when Parikshit Maharaj, he heard this, he became anxious, and face is the index of the mind. And Shukdev Goswami could see that Parikshit Maharaj is becoming fearful, anxious. What will happen to Krishna? What will happen to Brajavasis? Immediately, Shukdev Goswami said, Na yatra shravanadini raksho gnani swakarmasu kurvanti satvatam bhartu yatu dhanyascha tatrahi. What to speak of Krishna being personally present wherever chanting of the names of the Lord goes on? There is no influence of any demoniac species or entities. So therefore, Shukdev Goswami is always eager, responding to the mood of Parikshit Maharaj. Based on the mood of the audience, speaker also gets the enthusiasm. If the audience is so very eager and enthusiastic, so then the Bhagavatam speaker, the Katha Vyas, so many realizations may come out. So Shukdev Goswami, now, seeing the mood of Parikshit Maharaj, is trying to console him by telling another story. Leaving all the other stories, in between, suddenly he tells this story. Although this story happened much earlier, So last chapter story was when Samba, Pradyumna, they all were, children. But this story happened, just after the marriage of Krishna and Balram. So Shukdev Goswami, he goes back so that the Parikshit Maharaj can be consoled. So Shukdev Goswami tells, one time Balramji, he was eager to meet his friends in Braja, in Vrindavan. So he mounted his chariot and went to Nand Gokul. So somebody may ask, but why Krishna didn't go? Balramji went. Why Krishna didn't go? He could have also gone. Actually, the Yadus, they were thinking gopis are so famous for their extraordinary love for Krishna. And all the Brajvasis, Nand Maharaj, Yashoda Mai, they are loving Krishna so intensely that if Krishna goes, he will never return. How can Krishna give up such great devotees of the Lord? He will never return. So that's why they were not even allowing Krishna to leave Mathura and go to Vrindavan. And Jiva Goswami tells that Balramji, he took permission from Krishna that you please allow me to go to Vrindavan. And he gave permission. Krishna gave permission so that Balramji could give messages to the gopis. So Krishna has sent many messages to gopis. It is not that only once or twice, many messages. And we'll see in this chapter also. Beautiful message, and wonderful reciprocation from the gopis. It will come. So Balramji, he reaches Vrindavan, and in Vrindavan, all the cowherd men and Brajvasis, Gopas, Gopis, they were in intense separation from Krishna. So as soon as they saw Balramji, they embraced him. The younger ones, they offered their obeisances. They, took the blessings of Balramji. And Nanda and Yashoda, they went to meet Balram. They said, "O descendant of Dasharha, O Lord of the universe." Somebody may say, How are they addressing Krishna and Balram, Balramji as Lord of the universe? Actually, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that they tell everywhere we hear that Krishna and Balram, they are the Lord of the universe. So they are telling, oh, you are the Lord of the universe. Please, you and your brother protect us. So they are telling that you are protecting all universe. You are the Lord of the universe. Please protect us also. We are drowning in this ocean of misery, drowning in this ocean of separation, in the ocean of tears. Please protect us also. That's why they are addressing Lord Balram as the Lord of the universe. Out of affection, out of Vatsalya Bhav. Yeah. And then they embraced Balramji, placed his head on their lap, kissed him, bathed Balramji with the tears. So that's how we have to understand. Balramji, he is reciprocating with the Nand Maharaj and Yashoda Mai. He offered respects to the elders, and all the cowherd men and the younger ones greeted them. So according to that person's age, degree of friendship, and their relationship, Balramji reciprocated with each and every devotee. So that is a glorious, behavior of Balramji. So actually, we have heard earlier also that when Krishna left and when Uddhav came with a message, actually Nand and Yashodamai, they were so very absorbed in remembering Krishna. They were crying tears. The situation remained the same even after the messages. So many messages were coming, and it is said that these cowherd men, not only Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Mai, all the cowherd men, they had actually, you know, forgotten to perform all their bodily functions also. They didn't even eat properly, they didn't even sleep properly. They were whole day crying, whole night thinking about Krishna. That was the situation of Braja. So the cowherd men, when they saw Balramji, they said, "Oh Ram, are all our relatives doing well?" Actually, they wanted to ask about Krishna only, but they were asking about all the relatives. Do all of you remember us? Does Krishna and their wives still remember us? So that's what they're asking. They're telling that it's good that Kamsa is killed now, and all the family relatives, they are now free of the fear of Kamsa. So that means Kamsa is killed. They are telling this. That means it must have not happened many years after killing of Kamsa. So it is just a recent story after the Krishna and Balram got married and their eldest children were born. That time the story is happening. Balramji came to visit. So then after this, Shukdev Goswami tells Balramji, he goes to meet all the gopis. Actually, gopis, they come. Last time also, when Uddhavji came with a message, all the gopis, when they saw some chariot is there, it seems Akrura has come. Then they saw Uddhava, similar bodily features. All the gopis, they surrounded, Uddhava. And now when Balramji came, all the gopis, they came. These gopis, they were dedicated to Krishna. So they secretly met Balramji, and asked in a group. They came, surrounded Balramji, and they were asking so many questions about Krishna. Actually, Shukdev Goswami said that they smiled and they were laughing. So it looks very odd, because how can gopis smile in midst of such pain? Chakravarti Thakur tells that actually they were completely in the stage of unmad, madness out of love for Krishna. They were completely absorbed in thoughts of Krishna. Otherwise, it was not possible for the gopis to, first of all, to stand in front of Balram, because they were extremely shy girls. They were shy Braja ladies. So first of all, they were overwhelmed with the thoughts of Krishna, and that's why they came in front of Balramji, and then they were smiling also. And Baladev, Balramji, he also understood the position of gopis. He understood such a great exalted position of these gopis. So he offered all the respects. Shukdev Goswami is using the word adritaha. Adritaha and Ram Sandarshana. So Balramji, he smiled very affectionately at all these gopis. He gave all the respect to all these gopis. And these gopis, they came and asked, is Krishna happy there? So Balramji said, how could he be happy without all of you? Because now he's separated from you, all of you. So the gopis, they say, oh, we know now he's surrounded by beautiful women of the city who are so very expert in conjugal affairs. Now, why will he feel separation from us? We are just village girls. So Balramji, when he heard, he may think, so, and all these gopis, they may say that, well, maybe. So the gopis, they ask, is he remembering us? How is he Krishna? Is he happy in midst of all the ladies of city of Mathura? And maybe why he'll remember us. But does he remember his parents? Does he remember his friends, father, mother, who were doing everything for him? Actually, we know the women of the city, they are so very expert in conjugal pastimes, conjugal affairs. But does he ever remember our services? So therefore they are telling, Kachya va bandhun pitaram mataram cha saha apyasau mataram drashtum sakrid apyagamishyati apiva smarate smakam anuseva mahabhujaha kachit smaratam. O Balramji, does he remember his family members? Bandhu, matram, pitaram, mother, father, does he remember them? Api asau matram drishtum. Do you think will he ever come back to see his mother? Because they are completely in separation, they are completely in sorrowful state, drowning in the tears. And then they ask, does he remember our services? Because now Krishna is surrounded with city girls, city women. Does he remember our little bit of services? We were making garland for him. We would smear his body with chandan paste. We would prepare a nice bed of flowers. We would fan him. We would make a canopy of flowers for him. Does he remember our little bit of services? The same mood always continues in Vrindavan. We see, this pastime is happening after just, Krishna is married and then he had one children, eldest. And we hear in the same story, same mood in the Kurukshetra also. When gopis, they return, Radharani, she is telling, Vrindavan Govardhan Jamuna Pulinvan se sab rasadik leela. Brajajaner Brajajan Mata Pita Bandhugan Bada Chitra Kemana Pasarila. Nagani Apanar Dukha Dekhi Brajeshwari Mukha Brajajaner Hriday Vidare. Kiba Mar Brajavasi Kiba Jiao Brajayasi Kene Jiao Dukha Sahibare. So Radharani is telling, do you remember Vrindavan? Even if you don't remember, do you remember Govardhan? Do you remember the forests of Vrindavan, Pulenavan, where we performed so many pastimes? Even if you forgot Govardhan, Vrindavan, do you remember Brajvasis? Brajajaner, Brajajan. Even if you forgot Brajvasis, do you remember your father, your mother, Mata, Pita, Bandhugan? How can you forget all these people? I'm not talking about my pain, Nagani Apnar Duk. I'm not counting my misery. But just see the face of Yashoda Mai. All the Brajvasis, they are just to see her face. they become so very sad. Either you return and give us life, or either kill us. So the same mood is there. They're always in separation, always remembering Krishna. So then they continue. For the sake of Lord Krishna, they are telling Balramji, for sake of Lord Krishna, we gave up everything. Whatever people in this world they feel attached to, we gave up everything. Our husband, brothers, fathers, mothers, sons, we gave up everything to serve Krishna. Patisutanvayat bhratra bandhavan ati vilangyate tachyutagata gati vidastavo gita mohita kitavayoshita kastya jenishi. So we gave up all these family members, although these relations were so very difficult to give up. But just see, Krishna abandoned us. So easily he abandoned us and he had gone away. He broke all the ties and he is not even returning back. Yeah, how? But what is our problem? How can we, fail to trust his promises? He promised he will return. Aya say, I will return. That is the only promise which is keeping them alive. So Balramji, Chakravarti Thakur gives the elaborate, story, background conversation. Balramji is telling, O gopis, Krishna is always remembering you. He is always full of love for all of you. The gopis may say, no, we do not have faith in his love now. If he would have loved us, why he left us? Why he rejected us? That means he rejected us. That means he has no devotion for all of us. And we cannot accept all this. He gave immediately. All of us, he gave up. We gave everything up for him and he left us and went. Balramji may tell, why did you let him go then? You should have stopped him. Gopis say, actually he tore apart our bonds of love and he went. He didn't care for all the love we gave him. All the services we rendered to him, he forgot all of them. Balramji may tell, but you are still maintaining your life. That means you have, broken your bonds with him. You have broken your ties of love. Gopis say, actually, we had cut all our bonds, all our ropes of love we had cut. But you know what happened? Krishna keeps sending messengers and telling us, I will return, and that's how, this again the knot has, knots of love is tied. Otherwise, our life fair was just about to leave. Somehow, because of his promises, the life fair has come back again. So Balramji tells, but if you believe that he will return, then why are you so upset? Gopis say, actually, so many times he has given so many assurances, but he has not come even now. That's why we are so very sad and disturbed. He didn't come even today. Then why do you believe whatever he said at all? Gopis say, what can we do? We are unintelligent village girls. Who will not believe the words of Krishna? Who will not believe the trust and promise of Krishna? So that's what our condition is. We are suffering. So then they say, Katham nuna grihnanti anavasthitatmano vacha kritagnasya buddha purastriyaha grihnanti vaichitra kathasya sundara smitavalokochvasita smaraturaha. They are telling, Katham nu grihnanti. How can the intelligent city women trust his words? Actually, so very ungrateful. So gopis, out of their love, they even chastise, even they speak so many bad words. They're telling he's so very ungrateful. He left all of us. How will these city women who are intelligent, how will they believe? But what can they do? They must believe him, because with his smiles, with his loving glances, he conquers the hearts of all the women. All the ladies, they are overcome with the lust, and they cannot do anything but to believe his words. And then some other gopi says, Are, why bother talking about him? We should talk something else. If he is not remembering us, why we should remember him? If he is spending his day without us, we will also do the same thing. Why we should remember? And another gopi says, our position is completely different. Generally in this world, if a woman is completely in love, and if he gets the beloved, she is happy. If she gets the beloved, she is happy. And if she does not get, she dies. But our position is we cannot even live and we cannot even die. What can we do? What is our fate? And then as they are speaking all these words, they started remembering all the loving exchanges which they had with Krishna. His smile, his laughter, his loving glances, his joking words, his beautiful walk, the style of walking. And remembering all this, the gopis, they began to cry. Balramji, he consoled all these gopis by telling the message which Krishna gave. So Krishna, he sent so many messengers. First he sent Uddhava, and then now he's sending Balramji. And every time he sends messages with different themes. Sometimes he sends philosophical messages, sometimes sweet messages, sometimes asking for apologies, sometimes some messages are very dignified. So by all these messages, Krishna is just trying to console the gopis. And the contents of many of these letters are not revealed publicly because they are so very secret. So Balram, he tells Chakravarti Thakur saying, Balram is telling, he is consoling all the gopis. Dear gopis, you don't worry. I will go to Dwarka and I will force Krishna to return. Because I am elder brother, I can do that. Who can stop me? I am not like Uddhava who is dependent on Krishna. I will bring him by force. So one special word which is used is Balramji is called as Sankarshan here. Why he is called as Sankarshan? Because Balramji attracted Krishna in his mind, and by that he is trying to pacify all the gopis. So then after this, Balramji, he resided in Braja for 2 months. 2 months he was staying with all the Brajvasis, and every night he would have pastimes with his gopis. So there were a set of gopis. There were gopis who were attached to Krishna, and some of the gopis, they were so very small and immature at that time when Krishna was performing Ras Leela. So these gopis, they are now performing pastimes with Balramji. So all these gopis, they are with Balramji, and Balramji is enjoying with them in near Yamuna river, in all the wonderful gardens where beautiful breeze laden with the fragrance of the lotus flower which is growing in the Yamuna river. Breeze is blowing everywhere, and Balramji is dancing and enjoying with these gopis. The demigod Varuna, he sent his daughter Varuni. So Varuni came in the form of a liquor which was oozing from a hole of a tree. Actually, this Varuni is a condensed form of honey. And Balramji, when he smelled the beautiful aroma of this Varuni, he went to that tree, and all the gopis and Balramji, they drank this Varuni, and they were completely blissful, absorbed, and intoxicated. They started dancing, and they were enjoying and hearing and seeing all this beautiful pastimes. All the devtas, they gathered in the sky, started beating all the drums, and all the other celestial instruments. All of them, they were singing the glories of Balramji. So you have to understand that when all these pastimes are performed, they are not mundane, as we have discussed earlier also in great detail. All these pastimes which Krishna is performing with the gopis, Balramji is performing with the gopis, they are not ordinary pastimes. They are not ordinary affairs between a boy and a girl of this world. They are all transcendental. There is no iota of lust here. Vikriditam brajavadhu idam cha Vishnu Shraddhanvito Shunyadath Varnayedyah Bhaktim Haro Bhagavati Pratilabhya Kamam Hridarogamashu Apahinoti Achirena Pumsaha. Shukdev Goswami says, if somebody hears these pastimes of Krishna with the gopis in right consciousness, the lust which is there in the heart will go away. So that is the power of hearing these pastimes. So as now Balramji is completely intoxicated, he goes near Yamuna. Balramji is wearing a beautiful Vaijayanti Mala garland and he is completely intoxicated, and he gives order to Yamuna that you come near. I want to, enter and enjoy within your waters. Yamuna Devi, she thought, oh, Balramji is drunk. So she disregarded his command. And this made Balramji very, very angry. And with his plow, he started dragging Yamuna near him. So Balramji said, oh, sinful one, you are disrespecting my orders. Just see now, if you do not come, I will call you against your desire. And with my plow, I will make you into 100 streams. So when Yamuna Devi, she is Kalindi, she heard this, she became frightened. So Kalindi, who was the wife of Krishna, so expansion of Kalindi is Yamuna Devi. And Samacharya says she is a shadow of Yamuna Devi, a shadow of Kalindi. So Yamuna Devi personified, she appeared and fell at the feet of Balramji, asked for forgiveness. Please forgive me, O my Lord. Rama Rama Mahabaho na jane tava vikramam yasyekam shena vidhrita jagati jagatah pate. O Ram, Mahabaho, O all powerful Lord, na jane tava vikramam, I know nothing of your prowess. You are unlimited. By your just a portion, you are sustaining this entire universe as Shesha. With a single portion of you, you are holding this entire universe. Please forgive my offenses. Please release me. I was not aware. I didn't understand your position as a Supreme Lord. Now I have surrendered to you. Please forgive me for my offenses. In its way, she asked forgiveness, and Balramji, who is naturally very kind, he released Yamuna Devi and entered the waters of Yamuna to perform so many pastimes, and played in the water full satisfaction. Even today, it is said that the Yamuna Devi you can see in many streams in Vrindavan near that area. After Balramji, he enjoyed with all the gopis. He came out, goddess Kanti. Kanti is a expansion of Lakshmi Devi. She came. She offered beautiful blue garments and jewelry to Balramji. Offered a garland of unfading flowers. And Chakravarti Thakur writes that actually she is a wife of Sankarshan. In the second Chaturvyuha expansion, Kanti Devi is a wife of Sankarshan. She came with all the beautiful garments. And Lord Balram, he dressed himself in the blue garments and all the beautiful ornaments and necklace. And he was looking very, very splendid like the lordly elephant Aravat. And in this way, Balramji, he passed his nights. So many, for 2 months he was there. But for Brajvasis, all these days and nights, they pass like one night. That is the mood of a devotee. If a person is in association of the beloved, the time passes very fast. So therefore, all these gopis, when we heard in the Rasa Leela also, when Krishna was performing these pastimes. For gopis, when they were with Krishna, they were not able to experience and relish the association, because they were thinking, oh, why Brahmaji has made these eyelids. We are not able to see Krishna properly, and night has passed so fast. And when they are in separation from Krishna, whole day, every moment is looking like ages. So at our level of sadhana bhakti, we don't have such hankering for Krishna, because we have forgotten when we were with Krishna. Because the gopis, they had the experience of being with Krishna, so they were experiencing separation from Krishna also. In the first canto, the story comes when Krishna entered Dwaraka after long time. He came back from Hastinapur. All the Dwarkavasis, they are telling, Are, why are you always staying away? You are always traveling abroad. How we will maintain our life? Katham vayam nath chiroshite tvai prapanya drishtya khiltapasoshanam जीवेम ते सुंदरहास शोभनम अपश्यमाना vadanam manoharam. How we will maintain our lives, O Krishna, O our Lord, if we are not able to see your beautiful face? How will we maintain our lives? So these Dwarkavasis, because they were with Krishna, they were experiencing separation when Krishna was not there. At our condition, in our condition, we have even forgotten when we were with Krishna. So many millions of years of separation that we are not experiencing any separation from Krishna. So therefore, how to develop this separation? We have to begin this mood of separation by developing attraction for the various limbs of devotional service, by developing our hankering for hearing, by chant here, by developing hankering from for the association of devotees, for hearing Bhagavatam, for chanting, so many limbs. If we are doing these limbs of devotional service constantly, then we will experience separation if these things are missing in our life. Many times, because we don't have the association, we don't have the experience of practicing these limbs regularly. So when Maya Devi tells, oh, what is the problem? Just leave it. You may practice some other day. You may, chant some other day. You may hear Bhagavatam some other day. And we also agree. So at present level, we have to learn to develop association and hankering for the various limbs of sadhana bhakti. Then we will experience separation when these things are not there. In this COVID times, when many devotees, they were not able to come to temple for Mangal Aarti, for darshan. Those who were coming regularly, every day few devotees would come. They were in intense separation from Krishna. One devotee, that devotee would come every day in the morning. The temple gates were closed, and that devotee would offer obeisances at 4:30 in the morning, wait till 5 o'clock, hear the conch, and then go. Every day, chanting for half an hour there, and then go. Such intense separation. So for Brajvasis, all this wonderfully, 2 months of association, they pass by very quickly. That is the end of this chapter. Then the 66th chapter is a very, very interesting chapter. Paundraka, the false Vasudev. So why suddenly, Shukdev Goswami is telling this story? Because, this story happened when Balramji was in Gokul. So as Shukdev Goswami told this story about Balramji going to Gokul, so connected to that, he remembered another funny story which happened in Dwaraka. So Shukdev Goswami continues. Okay, Ingo Parikshit Maharaj, while Balramji was in Dwaraka, in Nanda Maharaja's village, the king of Karusha, Poundrak, he started foolishly thinking, I am Supreme Lord, I am Vasudev, and he sent a messenger to Lord Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada, he writes in the purport, it is described that this Vasudev, he foolishly thought that, oh, now Krishna is alone. It is the right time to attack and defeat him. So he was so very foolish that he was thinking, oh, now Balram is not there. Balram is very powerful. He has gone to his village. So I can defeat Krishna now. So Poundrak, what happened is actually, he was surrounded by some, men who were also equally foolish. So these childish men, they started telling, Are, you are real Vasudev. You are the supreme personality. You are the Lord of the universe. You have descended in this world for maintaining the principles of religion. And this Vasudev, Poundrak, was so foolish, he accepted all this. And he started thinking himself as a supreme Lord. That is how people who are foolish, they are glorified by other foolish people. When somebody is glorifying, which is not true, you should understand, they are harming themselves and they are harming us also. Nowadays, there are so many people who claim themselves to be God. So this Paundraka is representing the mentality of a jiva to become God. And if 10 people are telling, oh, you are God, so this person starts thinking, yes, I think I am God. So there was a famous incarnation of God. So one of the persons, he asked, are you God? He said, no, I am not God. So he said, then, all your disciples, they are telling you are gods, and why are you not telling them anything? Oh, I don't want to hurt their sentiments. That is what is happening now. Foolishly, andha yathandhi rupaniyamanam tepish tantrya murudam nibaddha. Blind is following the blind, and both are falling into the ditch. On the contrary, we see in the life of Srila Prabhupada, when in the beginning days of ISKCON, some disciples, they started telling, Prabhupada is God. Prabhupada immediately he corrected this mentality. Actually he sent them out of that state. You go and preach. You don't contaminate people here. He corrected their mentality. So this King Paundraka, he sent a messenger to Lord Krishna. And just like when there are few children, and one child is telling other, you are a king, and other child is also accepting, yes, I am king, it seems. That is what is happening with Paundraka. Some foolish men, they are telling that you are king, and he is accepting also. So actually, Shukdev Goswami is telling second time that this Paundraka is sending a message. Because Shukdev Goswami is so very astonished. How can somebody be so foolish? How can this Paundraka claim himself to be God? Such a great fool we have not seen. And actually, not only he thought like that, he actually sent message. That means he believed it. So this messenger arriving in Dwarka, he went in front of Krishna, and at that time in Dwarka there were so many great sages, rishis, devatas. They were coming and offering their respects to Krishna. And this messenger comes, and he starts relaying this message of Paundraka to the Supreme Lord. And messenger, he said, on behalf of Paundraka, he said, I am the one and only Lord. I am Lord Vasudeva. I have descended here in this world to show mercy to all the jivas. You give up all these symbols. You give up my name. You are taking my personal symbols. If you do not give them up and come to me, I'll kill you in battle. So out of, so Chakravarti Thakur tells out of foolishness. What he's telling actually out that Actually, I have assumed this imitation form of you. So now you please come and kill me so that I may give up my symbols, which I have put, as an imitation. So he is predicting his own destruction. So when, this message was being relayed in the assembly, all the assembly members, Ugrasen, and they started laughing so loudly, and hysterically they started laughing when they heard this message. And Lord, Krishna also started laughing. He said, "You fool," he told this messenger, "you give this message to your king." He said, "You fool. I will indeed let loose of my weapons when I go in front of you in the battlefield. I'll release my weapons. You want me to give up my weapons? I'll give up my weapons. Utkrishye. Utkrishye. Utkrishye means I will hurl, throw my disc. I will cut off your head. In the battlefield, we'll meet." So Prabhupada in Krishna book, he writes that, Krishna, he told this messenger, "Oh messenger, you know, you give this message to your foolish king. He's such a foolish rascal. I'll directly come and I'll kill him. I call him rascal and I will come and kill him. He's telling me to give up my weapons. I will give up my weapons. I'll throw my weapon and I'll kill him. And when you lie dead, then I will not take your shelter. You will take shelter of, you will become the shelter of dogs. That means dogs will come and eat you up. Your dead body will be eaten by dogs." So in this way, when Lord, he spoke all these things, the messenger, he went and he replied exact same message. And as this messenger departed, Krishna didn't wait for him to attack, for Paundraka to attack. He mounted his chariot and he went to Kashi. Why Kashi? Because that time this Paundraka was with his friend in the Kashi, city of Kashi. So the king of Kashi, he was a friend of Paundraka, and Krishna, he surrounded the entire city of Kashi. And when this Paundraka, he saw, oh, Krishna is preparing for battle and he has come with armies. So he also came out of the city with 2 Akshauhini divisions. And Paundraka, he is described as a warrior, mighty warrior, Mahabaho, Maharatha. So he was also a very, very powerful warrior. It was not that he was just a puny king. Very, very powerful warrior. As Paundraka came out, his friend Kashi Naresh, he also came out behind him with 3 other Akshauhini divisions. And Krishna, when he saw for the first time now, this Paundraka, till now he had just heard about him. So he saw this Paundraka. He was carrying all the symbols of Lord. He was having conch shell, disc, club, and he was having the imitation sarang bow also. He was having this Shrivatsa mark on his chest. He was wearing a Kaustubh imitation, Kaustubh gem also. Everything copy. He was wearing a Vaijayanti mala also. And when Krishna saw, he laughed. And on top of that, he came on a chariot, and the flag of the chariot was having the sign of Garuda. He was wearing a shark-shaped earrings, Makara Kundal, exact same. So Lord Hari, he laughed. How did this Kashi Naresh, how this he Paundrak, he got all these imitation symbols? By the mercy of Lord Shiva. He worshipped Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva blessed him with all these imitation, paraphernalia. So that is mentioned in Padma Puran. So Lord Hari started, fighting. So this entire army of Paundraka, they started throwing all the weapons, clubs, arrows, lances, and all the very powerful weapons, maces. And Lord Krishna, he retaliated. He fought back. He threw all the equally and more powerful weapons. destroyed all the weapons. It was looking as if he's, about to destroy the entire cosmic manifestation. The entire battlefield was full of the bodily parts of the humans and the animals, and the various chariot parts were lying here and there. Entire battlefield became a playground of Lord Shiva, full of all ghastly creatures, ghastly scene. All the bodily parts were lying here and there. Krishna, he addressed Poundraka. He said, "Oh my dear Poundraka, the weapons you spoke, of through your message, now I will release those weapons." Because Poundraka wrote, you give up all your weapons. So Krishna is saying, now I will give up all your weapons, all my weapons. Prabhupada writes in Krishna book, he's telling, be careful. You are falsely declaring yourself to be Vasudev. Nobody is greater fool than you. So Prabhupada writes, from this statement, Krishna is making clear, any rascal who advertises himself as God, there is no greater fool than him. Anybody who claims that he is God, he is the greatest fool. And nowadays in society, bogus incarnations keep originating. There is a story that one time all the Kalki avatars, they were called by one reporter, one TV channel, and there were 12 Kalki avatars. Everybody was saying, I am Kalki. And they were all put in one room and camera was on. They started fighting, I am Kalki, you are not Kalki. And one person claimed that I am God and I'll show Virat Roop. And every time the day was coming, he would tell, no, abhi mood nahi ho raha hai, baad mein dikhayenge. That's how cheap incarnations are there. So Krishna, he told, oh fool, now I shall make you renounce my name. You are telling me that I have taken your name. Now I'll make you renounce my name, Vasudeva. And I will certainly do, what you want me to do if you would defeat me. If I am defeated by you, I will take your shelter. Otherwise, now I will destroy you. And thus, Krishna, he started shooting arrows. He destroyed his chariot. And then with his arrows, he cut off the head of Poundraka. After that, with his arrows, he cut off the head of Kashi Raj also, because he was also fighting. And interestingly, Krishna, he threw that head of Kashi Raj, that head went flying by and fell into the middle of the city of Kashi. Why Krishna did that? Because Kashi Naresh, as he was coming out of the city to fight with Krishna, he told all his queens and all his subjects that, oh inhabitants of Kashi, today I'll bring you the head of the enemy, head of my enemy, head of Dwaraka Naresh. And just see, wait. So Krishna, I said, okay, you're promising like this. So he, when he sent that head flying in the middle of the city, and actually when this Kashi Naresh, he said that his wives, he were also telling their friends, did you hear? Today our husband is going to get the head of, master of Dwarka. And that's why Krishna, he sent the head of Kashi Naresh. And as the head fell down in the middle of the city, all the citizens, they were thinking, what is this? And then they realized, oh, there are some earrings. Oh, that means it is a head. First of all, they thought, oh, it is the head of Krishna, I think. We think because, our king, he said, but then they realized, oh, it is the head of our king. They started crying, oh, alas, alas, we are gone, we are lost now. Shukdev Goswami says, actually, this Poundraka, because he was always absorbed in the thoughts of Krishna, he wanted to have the same features as Krishna. Such merciful Krishna is. He gave the same type of liberation, Sarupya Mukti. He gave Sarupya Mukti to Paundraka. He got the same bodily features because that's what he was absorbed in. Who can be more merciful than Krishna? Who will not worship such a wonderful, merciful personality? The person is trying to imitate him. Krishna is telling, okay, chalega, I'll give you the same features. Somehow or other, if somebody is absorbed in thoughts of Krishna, they get benefited. Gopyah kamad bhayat kamso dveshya shaitya nripaha sambandhad vrishnayat snehad yuyam bhaktya vayam vibho. Narad Muni is telling, so many personalities, they have attained Krishna. Gopis, they attained Krishna because of their lusty feelings. Of course, that lust is not a mundane lust. Kamsa, he attained Krishna out of fear. Shishupal, he attained Krishna out of envy. And you all Pandavas, you have attained Krishna because you are family relations, in family relation with Krishna. And we are ordinary devotees, Narad Muni is telling. We have also attained Krishna by practicing bhakti. So anyhow, a person is in touch with Krishna, constantly meditating on Krishna, he'll get benefited. Even the warriors who were on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, when they were dying because of being hit by the arrows of Arjuna, they saw the beautiful face of Krishna, they were also liberated. Tathaiva chanye naraloka veera yadahave Krishna mukhara vindam नेत्रे पिबन्त्यो नयनाभिरामं पार्थास्त्रपूता padamapurasya. So therefore this Paundraka, he also was liberated. And then after this, Krishna had returned back to Dwarka. The son of Kashi Naresh, his name was Sudakshina. When he saw that his father is killed by Krishna, he became so very angry. And he wanted to take revenge. So he called Brahmanas, he wanted to do a yajna. And before that, he started worshipping Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva appeared and he asked, what do you want? What is the benediction you want? So Sudakshina, he said, I want to take revenge from the killer of my father. Lord Shiva said, okay, I'll give you a way. I'll tell you. Along with the Brahmanas, serve this Dakshinagni fire and you follow all the injunctions. With the help of Brahmanas, you do this sacrifice, and from this sacrifice, you will get a very, very powerful fiery demon. And along with many other pramathas, many other associates, you can send that demon to kill a person who is not inimical to Brahmanas. And then Lord disappeared. So this Sudakshina, he didn't realize that who is Krishna? He is a lover of Brahmanas. Namo Brahmanya Devaya. How can this Dakshinagni fire demon do any harm to this Krishna? So as instructed by Lord Shiva, all the Brahmanas, they started performing this yajna, and from this fire from the sacrificial pit, the fire rose up and assumed the form of a demon. Very fierce, fiery creature. And he was looking very, very terrible. He had legs as long as tall tree. And he immediately ran towards Dwarka, and he was looking as if he was burning everything. The demon came and attacked Dwarka. All the residents of Dwarka, they started crying, because they were being burned by this fiery demon. All of them, they ran towards Krishna. Krishna at that time, he was playing dice. They all ran, all the citizens, they ran, oh Krishna, please help. This fire is burning us. So Krishna laughed. He said, oh, don't fear. I will protect all of you. Immediately he took out his Sudarshan Chakra. And what is this fiery demon in front of Sudarshan Chakra? Sudarshan Chakra was millions of times more fiery than this demon. And immediately, frustrated by the power of this Sudarshan Chakra, this creature, he flew back. He ran back to Kashi, and because it was black magic, so it is said the principle is if the black magic is not acting on a person, it has to act on somebody. So it goes back and destroys the creator. So this Dakshinagni fire demon went back and killed Sudakshina and all the Brahmana priests. Sudarshan is still behind this fiery demon. Sudarshan went and started destroying all the city, all the towers and all the places of public places, avenues, watchtowers, gardens, roads, everything is destroyed. Entire city was burnt down. After burning the entire city, this Sudarshan returned back. So Sukdev Goswami tells any mortal who recites this heroic pastime of Krishna killing Paundraka, he will, or if somebody hears this attentively, anybody who recites, or if somebody hears it attentively, he'll be freed from all the sinful reactions. So this is the end of this chapter. So we'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Shri Krishna Bhagavan ki jai.